Alright, shalom, shalom. First one, give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai is the Son of the living power. Right? The true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son. Right? And I'm out here in the byways and the pathways. And Lord willing, this video is edifying. Right? So, to start off this lesson, I'm going to get the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 1. It says, a psalm of Asaph, the mighty God. Even Yahweh have spoken and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. It says, out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God, or shall I say, the Most High have shined. Yeah, because Zion, which is the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians, mainly focusing on the elect of Israel, elect of Zion, have, been beautified by what? This knowledge and this this understanding. Right, so the Lord have sent forth prophets that will feed the true believers, the true listeners, knowledge and understanding. And therefore, that's likened unto us, adorning ourselves. Like how a woman adorn herself with earrings, all precious jewelry, with precious beautiful comely garments. So Israel, the elect, they're adorning themselves that they may appear perfect before Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. It says, out of Zion, the perfect beauty, the perfection of beauty, the Most High have shined. Right? Because ultimately, when you go into the word Zion, it means when you go, really deep, when you dig into that word Zion, it goes into the root word monument. Right? And what is a monument? Let's see if I could get it right now. Let's see if I could get it. Right? So, like I said, the word Zion in Psalms chapter 50, verse 2 comes from the Greek word
Strong's H 6726. Sion.
Sion. Right? So when you go into it, when you go deeper into the word, the root word, and this is how you get the meaning of words, right? Because sometimes words get lost into translation in different languages, in different translations, and it loses meaning. So you gotta go into the Greek, the Hebrew, to get a more understanding of some scriptures. Right, so go deep into that word.
Strong's H 6725. Sion.
Right, Sion, which one of the words is monument. Monument. So, what is a monument? Right, what is a monument? Right, so the people of God, the nation of Israel, is a living monument. Now, when you go into the etymology dictionary, it will tell you. Right, directly from the Latin word monumentum, a monument, a memorial structure, a memorial record. Right, literally something that reminds. Right, so the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians, especially the brothers that's in this truth, we are Zion. We are Zion. We are Mount Zion. Right, we are that monument, which a monument means something that reminds. So when the people look at the people of God, especially in the next world, which when this world gets destroyed and the rules of this world gets destroyed, the Lord is going to make a new earth and a new heaven. It speaks about that in the book of Revelations and in the book of Isaiah. Right, in the top government that's going to be ruling in the world to come is going to be Yasha'Allah, Israel, which Yasha'Allah is the Hebrew word for Israel. It's going to be Zion. Zion is going to be the rulerships of the world to come. Right, because the elect are made kings and priests through Yahweh Shai. But continue on. When you go into that word monument, it says something that reminds. So when the people look at the elect, they're going to be reminded of God, of Yahweh. Just like how people will look at, somebody's son and get reminded of the father. Right? So the elect are going to be, and Lord, when I'm part of the elect are going to be sons of the Most High, the living power. Right? So the elect are going to be sons of the living power. So to add on that, let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Let's go to the book of Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. It says, for the Most High created man to be immortal, see, which immortal means not subject to death. Right? Mortal means subject to death. So we have a mortal body right now. We're in a mortal state right now. But soon, we're going to receive immortal bodies. Lord, I'm going to receive an immortal body if I continue and endure in this truth. And that's, part of the promises. Being given a heart of flesh, that's a promise. That's one of the promises, man, that the Lord made with Israel. So it says, for the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. So the Israelite man in the world to come, which will be kings and priests. Right now you have presidents, kings, and leaders of countries in this world, right? Governments in this world. But the only government that's going to be truly established and above all governments, exalted, not even government, not all government, but people, because really the only government may be Israel, right? But let me say this. The only government that's going to be exalted above all governments, above all people, is the nation of Israel. Right? Because Yahweh Shai, he's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Now, who's the kings of the world to come, of the next world, when this world, after this world is destroyed? The elect men are going to be kings and priests. And the head of those elect men are going to be Yahweh Shai. Now, it's order. Right? The head of the son, Yahweh Shai, is the father. And the head of the man, the Israelite man, is Yahweh Shai. Right? And the head of the woman is the man. So the Lord deals with order. Right? So the elect, which will appear and will be manifested as the sons of God here in these last days, when they receive those new bodies, those immortal bodies, those God-like bodies, they're going to be manifested as the sons of God, man. Sons of the living power. And they're going to be, the elect shall be made joint heirs with Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. In a world to come. So when the nations, when all the other nations look at Israel, the elect, the kingdom, which y'all call the kingdom of heaven, I call the kingdom of Yasha'Allah, the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. Why, when the people in the world to come, when they look at the kingdom of when they look at the kingdom of Yahushua, the kingdom of Yasha, the people of Zion, they're going to be reminded that these are the sons of the living power. You know, that these are the blessed, that the Lord have blessed. Right? Let's read it again. It says, for the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Right? So the elect are going to be immortal. Right? In fact, let's add on that real quick. Let's go to the book of Micah chapter 4, verse 1. It says, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains. Now that when you understand scriptures, you'll understand that mountain or hills, and when you see the word mountain or hills, it sometimes represents governments or rulerships. Right, so this mountain that is this particular mountain that it's talking about Zion, the elect, the nation of Israel. It says that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the top of the mountains. So the nation of Israel is going to be is going to have the preeminence. It's going to be the top nation, the top kingdom, the top government, the top people. Because in fact, let's get this real quick. Ecclesiasticus, which is Sirach chapter 11, verse 5, it says, many kings have sat down upon the ground. Yeah, in this lifetime, in this age, Esau, which is known as Lucifer in the scripts, is going to be put down. That's why it was said that I beheld Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Which Esau, he's the physical counterpart, the so-called white man. He's the physical counterpart of Satan. Right, so Esau and his rulerships, NATO, European Union, U.S., and all the other people that come behind them, all the other countries that come behind them, is going to be put down. Yeah, because in this lifetime, Esau, in this world, in this age, Esau was given this world. He was given this earth. For it was prophesied in the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So in this age, which we are living in the last days, in this age, Esau will be put down. He will be put down, and his power and his authority will decline. And when Yahushua come back, he's going to destroy the rulerships and the countries and the so-called superpowers of the earth. It says, many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of have worn the crown. And who was never thought of to wear the crown? Who was never thought? Because the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians have been put down so low to the point where the nations can't even fathom the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians being risen up again, being rulers again. Right? When they hear about the so-called African American man, the Negro man, they think about slavery. Our history, especially for the Negro man, our history goes back to slavery. Or that's where it starts at. That's what the world see. They think our history goes back to slavery, being brought on slave ships. Hey, that's not the start of our history, man. The so-called Black, Latino, Native Indian man, we came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We came from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We came from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. The sons of the promise. The seed of the promise, man. It says, and one that was never thought of have worn the crown. So in the world to come, we're going to be risen, man. We're going to be exalted above all people. Right, let's go back to Micah chapter 4. Now I'm going to go back to Psalm chapter 50. It says that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be exalted in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. Now, what it means, people shall flow into it. Meaning what? These other nations, those other nations, and those other peoples, the so-called white man, the African man, the Egyptian, the Ishmaelite, the Arab man, the Indian man, the Chinese man, the Korean man, the Filipino man, the Thailand people. All those other nations are gonna what? Follow the footsteps, or not follow the footsteps, but be taught, if you will, and be obedient onto the standards of Israel, right? The other nations, the other peoples of the world are gonna be obedient to the standard of what? Of these laws. To the so these other nations, these other peoples in the world to come, they're gonna obey the law, statutes, commandments. They're gonna be taught the law, statutes, commandments. And they're gonna be obedient to that standard. They're gonna seek to fill that measure. Why? Because if they don't, they're gonna be put to death. It speaks about any man, any nation that that do not want, loosely paraphrasing, it speaks about, any nation that do not want to serve thee shall be utterly destroyed. Right, verse 2, it says, and many nations shall come and say, come, let us go, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, and to the house of the Most High God of Jacob. Right, let's read it again. It says, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. So really, who's going to teach these other nations? The sons of the Most High, the elect. It says, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, and that's what they shall do. Right, the so-called Chinese man, the Korean man, they're not going to cut their beards off no more like they do. They're not going to get like any nation, any people are not going to get shape ups anymore, man. Cut their beards off. Any female in the world to come are not going to even wear anything horse. That's where truth in the world to come, truth and righteousness shall spring, man. And deceit is going to be put out in this time. Wickedness and evil shall be put out, quenched in this time. Right? In order to remove evil, you got to remove the evildoer. Right? Which is the so-called white man. The evil, the wicked, which is the so-called white man. He got to be put out, destroyed, brought low, brought to hell. Symbolically speaking, not hell like no underground fire. It says, for the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So let's go back to Psalm chapter 50, verse 2, it says, out of Zion, the perfection of beauty. It says, the Most High have shined. Verse 3, it says, our power, no, if I'm not mistaken, in the Hebrew, our power is Alahayim Nawa. Right? So like not Alahayim Nawa, but to say our power in the Hebrew is what? Alahayim Nawa, right? Right? Alahayim Nawa, which Allah means power of God. Right? That's all it means. You know? So you Muslims, it's not that, man. You Muslims are going to die if you don't repent. It says, our power shall come and shall not keep silence. Yeah, so Yahweh is going to send his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, the Messiah, to what? Bring wrath upon the kingdoms of this earth. Right? Why you think they call Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, the Lord of hosts? Which host means armies or military. And what's one of the Lord's hosts or armies? The angels. It'll tell you, when you read the scripture, you understand that there's ranks in the army of the Lord. You have captains, you have captain angels, you have archangels. No, so there's ranks in the army, the heavenly army, man. You know, there's order. Right? Just like, you know, in the ancient days, and I want to touch on this first before I bring this up. In the ancient days, you have chariots, right? Right, you have chariots where men, so like, let's walk, right? In the ancient days, you have chariots where men, in wars, where men will what? Have horses in front of them, moving the chariots, you know? And that will be used as a tool of strength, as a tool to destroy. Right? Look up chariots, ancient chariots. Right? Which a modern day chariot in this world is a tank. You know, it's a tank. You know, it's a no, any type of military truck that shoot out. That's a modern day chariot. So I'll tell you this. The Lord himself, right? The Lord himself, Yahweh Shai, is going to come upon a chariot. Which, when you go into Revelation, it speaks about a cloud. He shall come with clouds. You know, probably loosely paraphrasing, probably. I don't know. No. It speaks about, you know, a white horse. That's a chariot. Right? Which the world call the heavenly chariots UFOs, which is not no UFO. That's a term that Esau came up with. Esau came up with the idea or misconception or the concept of aliens, and he ran with it just so he may distract the people from the truth, from the factual, that which is facts, that these chariots, these so-called flying objects that we see on the internet are sometimes chariots. Angel, you know, which angels, the heavenly hosts, have chariots as well. Now I'm not gonna get into it, right? You can watch the other videos and learn more about the chariots. You know, learn more about the chariots. Yeah. So like, let me set this camera up. So when you go into the scriptures, you know, when you go to I think Zechariah chapter 3 or something, Zechariah speaks about a flying roll. You know, a flying roll. When you go into 2nd or 1st Kings, it speaks about, you know, fiery chariots or horses. You know, so there's chariots. Now, chariots come in all shapes and sizes, man. You know, and a lot, I ain't gonna say all, but, you know, you see sometimes UFOs, so-called UFO sightings on social media, on the internet. They appear as light, balls of light, or they appear like a disc, you know, a roll, or they appear as, you know, fiery. You know, so the angels, they have chariots, man, and they're gonna use these chariots to destroy. That's where you get certain alien movies, alien invasion, because Hollywood, they understand certain things. They understand certain things, and they put it in movies. They have dreams and visions. The producers do. They probably, use that idea. You know, you see UFOs destroying buildings, destroying people. You know, whatever old alien movie you've seen before. You know, which chariots, so-called UFOs, is recorded in the scripts, man. And yes, Yahushua is going to come with thousands and thousands of angels, and they shall be ready to destroy at his command. Why you think all the tribes of the earth is going to mourn? It speaks about that in the book of Matthew chapter 24. That the tribes of the earth is going to mourn, man. At his sight, they're going to mourn at his sight, man. Right, but Psalm chapter 50 verse 3 says, our power shall come and shall not keep silence. You know, it says a fire shall devour before him, and yeah, that's actually going to happen. When Yahushua come back, the nukes, or shall I say, when Yahushua come, he's going to destroy, which will tell you that, a sharp sword goeth forth out of his mouth. So Yahushua is going to command these angels to destroy it, to shoot out rays of light, beams. And it's going to be like a fire, man. And everybody's going to become ashes, everything. Especially those nukes. It says, a fire should devour before him. Yeah, and those nukes, those missiles that's going to be shot at America, by the other countries, which is prophetic, which is prophecy. It says, and it shall be very tempestuous round about him. Verse 4, it says, he shall call to the heavens from above. See? And yeah, the Lord is going to, Yahweh is going to send Yahushua. And Yahushua, he's going to come with the heavenly host, the heavenly army, man. It says, he shall call to the heavens from above and to the earth. Yeah, and Yahushua, he's going to send his angels to gather the elect from the four corners of the earth, which is prophesied in the book of Matthew chapter 24. It says that he may judge his people, and all who do not get received or gathered, or that do not get saved, shall be burnt up, shall be destroyed, shall be caught up in that lake of fire, shall taste of that second death, which is the lake of fire. And it shall be gnashing of teeth and weeping. Which is prophesied that there when those nukes come, when those nukes come and hit this country, the eyeballs of the people